Hi, my name is Savannah Smith. This is my persuasive speech. It's about breastfeeding in public. Here is my audience. He'll be listening. And here I go. Imagine you see a woman breastfeeding in public, lifting up her shirt and putting her baby onto her naked chest. How would you feel if you saw that? A lot of people would feel uncomfortable, maybe that they're intruding on something private, or that it's just wrong to do those things. And some people think that she should have gone somewhere private to feed her baby, but I feel like nobody, unless you're really stupid, is gonna walk up to a breastfeeding mother and be like, you need to cover up, you need to go somewhere private, and you need to not do this ever again. Because that would just be extremely rude and disrespectful to the mother. Young babies feed on demand, which means when a baby shows signs of hunger, they need to be fed. Because babies feeding on a schedule may not get the nutrients that they need when they need them and may have developmental issues as a result. No good mother is going to ignore the needs of her baby for the needs of some stranger in some random public setting, because that's just not how parenting works. A lot of the time, it's not just so simple to, oh, I'm just gonna go find some place to feed my baby. Sometimes, well, a crying baby would be a baby that's gone too long without food. So in the time that she's trying to find a place to feed that baby, it might start crying. And at that point, the baby might be too upset to even eat. And as a result, it might not get the nutrients it needs, all those things. There's a lot of factors to be taken into account here. And a lot of the time, it's mostly conservative people that have problems with a mother breastfeeding her baby in public. And it's not a lot of people that think this way, but the people who do may see it as inappropriate, indecent exposure, sexual, or they might even see it as molestation of the baby. Breastfeeding is the most natural and nutritious way to feed a baby. It provides them with nutrients that formula will not give them, and it gives them the comfort to know that they can rely on their mother. Sometimes babies breastfeed just for comfort and not because they're hungry. A baby has to be fed when it shows signs of hunger, and with formula, a bottle would have to be prepared, and with a pump, you'd have to find somewhere to pump. Just feeding right from the breast, you can just lift up your shirt, stick the baby there, and you're done. A mother, generally, a good mother wouldn't choose the wants of someone else over the needs of her infant child. And it's best for the mother and child to breastfeed, and there's just so many benefits in so many ways that it's ridiculous for such a reason to stop a mother from breastfeeding her baby. When a baby is first born, a mother's breasts will produce a substance called colostrum, which is a golden liquid. It provides her with things such as antibodies, proteins, minerals, all sorts of things that are going to help protect the baby in a world full of all kinds of diseases. As the baby gets older, they'll feed less frequently, but they'll get more out of each feeding. So even when you have an older baby, just breastfeeding for a couple of minutes in public can give your baby all that it needs, if it has to be in public. As well as the numerous benefits that a baby gets from breast milk, a mother actually has just as many. Breastfeeding can speed up postpartum recovery time and make it so you bleed less. A mother's body will bounce back much faster when she breastfeeds most of the time. She also may have reduced chances of cardiovascular disease, breast cancer, and all kinds of other things later in life. Breastfeeding is also the most practical route to raising a child because it's the least expensive. For pumping, you have to get all the pumps and things required for pumping breast milk out, and you'd have to get counseling, therapy. For formula, you'd have to constantly buy the formula, have the bottles ready, all sorts of things. But breastfeeding, really, the most cost that a mother would have for only breastfeeding her child would be that she has to consume an extra 400 to 500 calories a day. After birth, a woman's body will have gone through a lot of stressful changes. And, it really helps a mother's body when she's breastfeeding, because it's the most natural and it will trigger all sorts of hormones to help her body feel better. Many people are against breastfeeding for all kinds of reasons. Some of them are reasonable, make sense, and some of them do not. Some people are culturally inclined not to accept flesh being exposed, especially on a woman. And some people are raised into thinking that it's inappropriate, and some people are just completely ignorant of everything, and it's ridiculous sometimes. Some feel that a woman's place is in the home, caring for children, tending to the household, and the needs of the man. That's no problem for people who want to live that way, but you shouldn't force your views on someone else. So saying a woman shouldn't even be out of the house, breastfeeding her child there, and should just be at home is ridiculous if that mother doesn't want to live that way. Some people, unfortunately, feel that exposing breasts in public is akin to just flashing your genitals or urinating and defecating in the streets, and that society is on a downhill slope into savagery, which is not correct because it's a mother taking care of the needs of her baby, which is extremely important if you want to continue the survival of the human race. One woman's account that I read said that she felt like breastfeeding was an intimate moment between mother and child, and that she felt like she was intruding when she saw them. When she saw a mother breastfeeding her child in front of her in public, like she had just walked into somewhere that she wasn't supposed to be. I can understand that reason, and some mothers may feel that it is extremely intimate between her and the child. But for other mothers, they are just doing what needs to be done for their baby, and that it's no big deal. Breastfeeding in public should be accepted as a general rule, as there's many benefits for mother and child. Some people feel differently, and that's okay, but you cannot bash people for their ways of life. No mother who breastfeeds her child in public should be ridiculed or judged, and people who do so are extremely ignorant. Thank you for listening. Peace out.